Alright guys, so here we have the Hoth Rebel Soldier from the Star Wars The Black Series, Empire Strikes Back 40th Anniversary wave of figures. You can see here with the packaging, set them off to the side, you have the nice Kenner logo, you have the face of which the character is based on, I believe. If you take a look at his face here, it appears that they used that photoreal technology and based it off of his face. And in my opinion, they captured the face pretty well. See there. See on the top, Empire Strikes Back, a nice 40th anniversary shiny sticker up there. Pretty nice. Flip this around, you can see all the other figures in the wave, a bunch of attention, danger, commemorate the 40th anniversary, Star Wars, blah blah blah. And yeah, all the other figures, R2-D2, Imperial TIE Fighter, Lando, and Luke, which I have a review of. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Very nice figure. So without further ado, let's take a look at this Rebel Soldier. So first off, this guy comes with some different accessories. He comes with this assault rifle looking blaster here, which is just a flat gray. Some nice sculpting work though. A little pistol, handgun type blaster. I'm not sure the exact names of these. I'm sure you can find them online though, because I'm pretty sure you can use these in Battlefront. I recognize these from Battlefront 2, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Just comment below and let me know. And then you get this little face mask here, which for some reason I put on his face the wrong way initially. I tried to put it on like this, and it was very stupid because it obviously goes like this. He's not a cowboy. That is not like some kind of bandana. So, very nice piece of work here. Fits on his face nice and snug. And then he comes with the goggles up on his face here, which are removable, and you also can put them down on his face if you wish. Another part of his face that is removable, I should mention, is this little, almost like this little walkie-talkie type thing that goes on the side of his face, which also kind of holds that the goggles down a little bit, that strap. So those are his accessories. I will show you how he holds the guns in his hand. There's one trigger hand. One main one anyways. The other one kind of has a trigger finger, but not really. It doesn't really separate from the other fingers, so I wouldn't really use that one. And then he holds the other one like this here. Fits in there pretty nice. Then obviously the pose that everyone's going to want him in is with his hand on the rifle, both hands. And that works out pretty well. Snaps into his hands real easy. So you can also see here that he has a holster for this pistol. You can just pop that in there. So anyways, I'll show you all the different things you can do with the face. There's quite a few different looks, so I'll show you those. First off being the plain face with the goggles on the helmet, or the hat. Second look is just the goggles down. Next look is also just the mask by itself. You can also pop the goggles down with the mask on. The mask also kind of supports these goggles here to stay up, so you can have that look. And obviously at the end of the day you can do the no accessories on his face. And the no accessories on the face is just this, exactly what you see here. Another thing to note about this figure too is he's very friendly for customizing. You can easily pop this hat off if you toy with it enough. And you can kind of pop this face off too. It just comes right off. Super, super easy. I'm surprised they didn't include another face or something. Maybe that's something they'll do in the future, since it's so easy. But you can also obviously mess with the face and add a little beard or some scruff or something. I don't know, a scar here or there. That'd be cool too. But he's very easy to take apart. Aside from all those accessories, the figure has an incredible amount of detail all throughout. You can see here all the different texturing on his arms, on the side of his face, just the detail. It's got this little walkie-talkie type thing. The pack on his back is absolutely incredible. I really love that. Very nice paint work. It does, the one thing that's kind of interesting about this figure too is he does have like a soft plastic piece here that you can lift up, and that attaches into the backpack. So the backpack does come off. It's like a really square peg, and you can slide it in there, fits in real nice. And because this attaches to that backpack, it really looks like this backpack is just attached to his suit. It looks more natural, I guess. So that's a really nice feature. Once again, some nice detail all throughout. I really like the soft plastic here, soft plastic part here in his little skirt. Really nice paint work all throughout. The weapons definitely could have used more paint, but nothing you can't add yourself, I guess, if you have the paints for it. However, it'd be nice if they just added a variation of different colors, not just one flat color, but whatever. Some really nice work here on the boots and the legs. All very nicely done, very nicely painted. I don't see any bleeding. Bleeding would be pretty noticeable with the paint in terms of like just rubbing anywhere, especially with this white color. And I don't see anything. I should also mention too, it looks like there's a little ranking here on his arm. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong about that, but it just looks all around fantastic. The sculpt work is really, really nice. So this face is pretty easy to pop on, and I'll show you the face here, which is very, very nicely done, as you can see. And in my opinion, it appears that the guy on the side of the package is the face they were going for. I think, anyways. Definitely looks like it to me, to some extent. And they definitely captured it. I think they probably used that photoreal technology. I don't know. All I know is that this face is absolutely phenomenal. And if they're trying to capture that likeness, they did a good job. It looks pretty great. So we can pop the hat back on. It fits on. Perfect. Looks really, really nice. To put the goggles back on, I like to take the little walkie-talkie off. Slide them on like that. You could also tuck it under this little piece hanging off here. If you think that looks kind of awkward, that little black band going around, you can do that if you'd like. I'm not going to do that myself though. I also don't know if this is removable. I'm sure it is if you pull on it enough, but it is super glued in there. So then you can just pop this walkie-talkie back in, push that up a little bit so it doesn't get the peg. Pop that in, and then personally, I'm going to display mine with that little face mask on, little face gear. I absolutely love how that looks. Those are really, really nice feature. So pop that on there. Put it on like that. So very, very nice. This guy looks great. This is a little bent though, so that kind of sucks, but you can fix that. It's very soft plastic. So anyways, taking a look at this guy's articulation, his head doesn't really have a ton of articulation. I mean, it does, but you know, it's kind of dumb of me to put that back on, showing the articulation, because he does have a new feature. I showed this on the Hoth Luke from the Battle of Hoth. There is a ball joint on the bottom of the neck. There's a little ball, and on the top. So it's definitely a new piece of articulation. If you've had old Black Series figures, you know that they definitely had a more Marvel Legends style ball joint on the neck. So this is definitely something different. Is it better? I don't know. The articulation isn't as great. I think the heads don't look as far up as some of the other older figures. However, the X-Wing Luke definitely looked a bit farther up. Let's see here. I can grab Return of the Jedi Luke. His head doesn't really look much farther up, to be honest. In fact, I think it's actually worse on that Luke Skywalker. But let's see, we can grab another figure here if we're grabbing, for say, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Clone Commander, Obi-Wan. Like, jeez, man. The difference is night and day. That head can look incredibly far up versus that joint. Luke's hair just kind of blocks it, but if you don't have the hair there, I'm sure he'd look way farther back. So, yeah, the new joint doesn't look that great. I'm not a huge fan of it, but there is something aesthetically pleasing about it. I think it's kind of nice looking, and especially in terms of the neck pivot. The neck pivot is really nice with it, I think. Pretty nice neck pivot. It doesn't look, well actually no, it kind of looks far down. Not really, not a whole ton of movement there. The arms go all the way around, obviously, up about that far, down. There is no rotation in the bicep. There's rotation here at the elbow and a hinge. There's a rotation at the wrist and a hinge as well. It's pretty stiff. And on this hand, the hinge goes and points down. The finger actually points down for the gun, which allows for you to do some more dynamic posing with him holding the gun. So that's a nice touch. There is a swivel here at the abdomen, the diaphragm, and it works out pretty well. There is no swivel at the waist, just this, at least as far as I can see. Definitely doesn't appear so. So there is just a swivel here that works as his rotation and the up and down crunch, which there really isn't much motion going up and down, just a little bit. So that's kind of a bummer, but what can you do? It definitely is nice though. It's a decent joint, very articulated. The legs go really far out. This I'd be a little leery of. I wouldn't want to ruin that, so maybe be careful when you're bending that leg. There's double jointed knees on the action figure. There's no rotation here at the calf, the shin. There's a hinge at the foot and an ankle rotation, but no rotation otherwise. And I believe I should mention too, there is a swivel here at, or rotation here at the thigh. So that is all the articulation with this guy. Relative to other figures, he is pretty fairly articulated. The new neck joint, I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, it's okay. It works for the most part, but it's nothing where I'm like, oh my god, they should definitely do that again. I would be okay with them not doing it. That's for sure. I definitely think it kind of hinders the articulation and kind of takes away some of the dynamic poses that we could have had with this guy looking super far up or something. But the swivel down at his waist actually kind of allows for him to look up farther too. I should have mentioned that. You can see that pose just looks very natural. So that's really nice. I like that. Otherwise, this is just a beautiful figure in general, man. I'd say him and the Hoth Luke, the Snowspeeder Luke, are two of my favorite figures from this wave so far. I will be posting reviews of more of them, so stay tuned for those. At the end of the day, would I recommend you buying this figure? Yes, 100%. For $20, I definitely think you'd be a fool to pass it up. It's a beautiful piece. There are some issues, obviously, a little bit of a lack of articulation, maybe some lack of paint on the guns, but most Hasbro guns don't have a whole ton of paint on them, so what do you really expect? It's a $20 figure. Would have been nice to see an interchangeable face or something, but once again, $20 figure. For $20, what you're getting is fantastic. You definitely get a bang for your buck. I think anyone who owns it will definitely enjoy it. Very beautiful looking piece. So with that said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope it gave you some insight into what you're buying or thinking about buying. Please like my video, subscribe, comment, and stay tuned for more. But most importantly, keep collecting. Thank you.